Hi there, let's talk fruit. So fruit is brilliant for us. We want to get as much fruit as we can on the go. Lots and lots of lovely colourful fruit, lots of variety. It's chock full of lots of wonderful stuff, lots of vitamins, lots of cytotoxins, really good things. It does have fructose in it, but we don't want to be scared of that. Fructose is fine in really low concentrations, so fruit as it comes. The problem lies when we start making lots of things like smoothies chock full of fruit. And I'm not in any way saying that smoothies are bad for anybody if that is in replacement of a meal, and that's fine for you and you're not going to then go and consume loads more food. Okay, do that. Just be aware of the concentrations of fructose that you're consuming. Is it more than you would be able to sit in a meal? Because that is the thing. When we start to overly process foods, that's when we overconsume it. And it's not just fruit, it's the same for everything. So we need to be careful with processed foods and realise that we process them ourselves sometimes as well. So for things like smoothies, that's great for, I've got some girls who, when they work night shift, they don't like to eat food because it makes them feel sick, so they can go a 12-hour shift without eating, and then they'll go home and potentially have a chocolate bar or something like that, and it's just not great. So that's a good thing for them to do, is to have a smoothie with some fruit in it, and it's making sure that they're eating some really good food, but they're not making them feel sick when they're on that night shift mode. However, if you're having a smoothie and then eating another meal, I want you to keep in mind that the smoothie has the energy content of a meal. Would you eat all of the fruit that's in that smoothie and then go and eat a meal? Probably not. So that is the problem with smoothies, is if you are over consuming. So you need to be aware of that. If you're not over consuming, fine, do it. Absolutely cool. Go and have your smoothie. That's brilliant. If it fills you up, great. I know personally that smoothies don't fill me up, so I don't tend to have them. It's kind of pointless because I will sit and eat fruit anyway, and I have fruit as my snack, so I don't need to do that. Another thing that we want to watch out when it comes to fruit is dried fruit. Again, so any processing method, we kind of want to stay away from as much as possible. So dried fruit has really high concentrations of fructose. So we typically see that as eating sweeties. It's not great. I don't even like my toddler having dried fruit. I don't like him having too much in the way of raisins and cranberries. If other people give them to him, fine, but I'm not really going to do it. Sometimes I'll top his porridge or whatever with some dried fruit just for it to taste nice. But really, I wouldn't be giving him loads and loads of that, because there's just such a high fructose concentration in there, and there's nothing wrong with just eating fruit as it comes. And just keep asking yourself, if I was to eat that fruit, had it not gone through that process, would I consume as much of it as I am in this form? Probably not, because you don't need that much. But if you think about a smoothie, you could put 2 apples, a banana, whatever into that smoothie. Then you'll see people doing that and putting oats in there and everything under the sun, and you think, well, you wouldn't have had a bowl of porridge oats and a banana and 2 apples. That is a lot of food to consume in that way, and then your body doesn't really need to metabolize it, and you don't necessarily feel full for that long. So it really is about being smart. So filling yourself up full of really good fruit, but again, try to consume it as it comes, not by overly processing it. And there can be a little bit of when people try to healthy bake and make healthy little fruit bars and nugget things and things like that. And I see it with, I'm not going to mention names because I might get into trouble, with certain people who make healthy recipes, which is great, and they're famous, putting lots of dates and raisins and all of this stuff as, I guess they're using it as a sweetener instead of granulated sugar or honey and things like that. However, I think they don't really explain that very well. So they don't explain that, listen, I'm not eating this every day. I'm not eating this all the time. And then I see lots of people going away and making this, and they're consuming it throughout their week and their weekends, rather than seeing it for what it is. It's basically a chocolate bar, but better. Or it has the energy and sugar of a chocolate bar, but you also have lots of lovely vitamins and and different things in there that are good for you. So yes, it's better than eating a chocolate bar, but remember, sugar content wise, fructose wise, it is very similar to that, and we don't want to be consistently consuming that amount of sugar all the time. So yes, eat your fruit, but try and eat it as it comes. If you make those things rather than having chocolate, that's brilliant, but remember, it's a replacement of a chocolate, not just, oh, I can have it because it's like natural, so it's fine. So just being really, really mindful of how you consume your fruit, but making sure to consume your fruit, because we don't want to be put off of it in any way. We just want to be mindful of how we're doing it, and telling ourselves when we're being healthy, when we might actually be over consuming a little bit on the sugar in that respect. So that is a little bit of knowledge on consuming fruit to support your fitness journey. We'll go over all the macros and different food types, and different relationships with food. But as ever, if there's anything specific you want me to prioritise, I can do that. So just reach out and I'll see you later. Enjoy your fruit.